G'day everyone, I hope you're well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Sunday the 25th of September 2016 and the time is 0800 in the morning. WAST. The reason I'm making this video is because after having discussions with Strop yesterday, I'm a bit early in the morning, folks, sorry. After having discussions with Strop over the last couple of days, we've realised that we've actually reached a hypercritical stage in the world as regards to current issues, whether it be financial, war, or whatever. So I've done a bit of a list of things here, folks, to actually discuss and point out to you. I would ask now, I'm just an old bloke who decided to do this because of Nibiru and everything else, but it seems to have morphed into this help channel sort of thing, if you know what I mean, because a lot of people are struggling with this whole concept of Nibiru, etc., the wars, you know. And by struggling, I mean that you're actually awakened and you are aware of what's happening here to you. You know things aren't right. But a lot of the feedback I get, which is great, thank you by the way for all the feedback, is that people don't seem to understand on their relative sides, or whether it be siblings, brothers, sisters, you know, the mum, dad, the whole family, etc., don't seem to be getting it. On that note, I would say to people, get them to watch my video if you can. I'm sorry, at the moment I'm using the Apple Mac, but when I figure out how to swap change pages, then I'll actually have all the information as per normal again. But I'll give you all the pages as we go. So if you want to get your family to watch this video and realise exactly what is going on in the world, because it's bad. It's not a little bad. It's, it's a fisherman's bad. And it's getting worse by the hour, not by the day, by the hour. So all of us need to make a conscious decision to try and somehow get the truth of what's going on through to our families. So let me go through this list that Strop and I discussed yesterday. And I say Strop and I because we collude pretty well together every day as regards to what's going on, which I'm not going to lie to you, Strop's 70 and I'm 52, going on 53. So honestly, we can't believe what we're seeing. And we're the same as you guys because we can't seem to get our families to accept that things are this bad. As I've said before, and I'm not trying to be derogatory to anyone's family or anything, but there seems to be a lot of the sipping lattes, Starbucks sipping lattes generation that just doesn't want to give a crap. And are literally going to get caught with their pants down around their ankles, which is extremely bad, you know. It's frustrating for us as I guess it's just frustrating for you guys as to watch it all and everything else. Right, so guys, got to put the specs on. Number one, financial crisis. I would urge everybody to go to a website called, a YouTube site called SG for Granny, T for Tree report, and have a look at the there's the latest interview on that um, is with a fellow called David Jensen. I would strongly recommend that you all listen to that interview. He actually states exactly what's wrong in very easy to listen to talk and where it's all going. The second one on there that I would strongly urge you to all listen to is with a gentleman called Andy Hoffman. Now, together, I think they're going to take an hour out of your life at the moment to listen to what's going on. I would strongly recommend that you listen to these two. If you have super qualified people who do this for a living actually coming around and doing interviews for free and actually holding seminars for free. They're holding seminars for free, most of these guys now, to warn people of what is going to happen. Now, as I said before, it can happen today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. It all depends on how far these sociopaths want to take us down the debt road. And we all need to understand that, how far these sociopaths want to take us down the debt road. It's not going to be our generation that we're going to suffer, but this is so big now that you're talking like 40 years that it's never going to be fixed. Now, on the David Jensen interview, he actually says something very pertinent, which is China, India, Russia, one other country, I'm sorry, I can't remember. They basically own all the gold now. Now, China's been accepted on the SDR, as I told you, but it's kind of irrelevant because the SDR is made up of fiat currencies that are all going to explode anyway in the next whenever this thing collapses. So China and Russia already have a new currency, not a world currency, a currency figured out backed by gold. So when this all crashes, that's what they're planning to do, to try and help us hurt us, but they're actually trying to help us because they realise how bad this is going to be. Now, there's not a lot more I can tell you about financials, guys, because the bond markets are collapsing. I've written down on my notes here, Deutsche Bank. Okay, and the big four banks here in Australia. And when I say the big four banks in Australia, I mean the big four banks here in Australia and New Zealand, because we're all tied together on this, guys, on this particular one. Now, the big banks here in Australia got placed a month ago on a negative rate outlook by Standard & Poor's. What's that mean? Well, every time they want to borrow money, it's going to cost them more. What does that mean for us here? Well, you'll find out when the Reserve Bank of Australia drops interest rates. They're not going to drop the rates, guys. And if they do, it will be absolutely minimal. But you can't have one being, say they're like this, you can't have one going down to 1%, that's the federal, and you can't have these guys going down on a negative interest, negative outlook. See what I mean? It ain't gonna work, folks. So what these guys are gonna have to do, this is a business, by the way, Commonwealth Bank and all that, they're going to put up their rates. All of them are going to put up their rates. They have to. There's no choice. Right. Deutsche Bank. And all the banks in Italy and I would probably suggest most of the banks in Europe, and this includes the UK, are trading currently as insolvent. I'll let that sink in a bit. They're currently trading as insolvent. Deutsche Bank has 72 trillion, apparently. It's confirmed at something like 63, but I read an article in Zero Hedge where they said it was more likely to be 72 plus. 72 trillion. funny, whenever we used to say whenever we said billions, we used to think that was a lot. Now we're talking trillion, folks. $72 trillion in debt because of their derivatives that they hold. They can't get rid of them. They can't sell them. They can't. They just got to keep them. Now their shares just went down again by 20% the other day. This is all on Zero Edge, or if you want to do your own research, which I would strongly recommend you do. Don't listen to me sitting here parrot talking to you. Do your own research, folks. Okay? So if you do get your relatives and that to watch this video, then they can understand easier. Because you can put the proof right in front of them. Okay? So, minute to midnight. We're actually about 30 seconds to midnight. We're on the basis of what I'm reading and seeing financially at the moment. And it is, Strop and I have talked considerably about this. So I'm just going to sip my coffee. We talked considerably about this, and it's dire. It's absolutely dire, and it's getting worse by the day. Massively worse by the day. Why no one can see it is, I don't know, I failed maths at school. I was so useless. I was in remedial maths. So from a thick-head lumberhead like me, to understand it, I don't think it should be too hard for a lot of other people. They just maybe need to slap the lattes out of their hands or something, I don't know. Okay, moving on. Earthquakes. This morning there was a 6.8 earthquake that hit off the coast of Fiji. I'm going to say that again. 6.8. It's actually the biggest earthquake that's hit in the world this year, as far as I know. They've listed it as at a depth of 600 kilometres down. Now, what's staggering me, Strop and I, as regards to this, is that, well, I counted them yesterday. There was 47 earthquakes. If you take the one out of Japan out of the equation, there was 47 earthquakes in the last 7 days in the Australian region. 47 earthquakes in the last 7 days in the Australian region. And you're talking about most of them being big, significant earthquakes over 2.5. First thing everyone should be doing in the morning at the moment is getting up and seeing where the earthquakes are without fail, honestly, because they're getting that bad. A 6.8 earthquake in Fiji, regardless of whether it's 600 kilometres down or not, that's shaking your boots a bit. The one that hit Italy was 6.2. So, look, the other thing that struck my discussed about the earthquakes yesterday is which site do you go to analyse earthquakes, because honestly, you can go on one site and it's got 3, you can go on the US GS and it's got 1, you go on the Australian website Geoscience and it's got 2, you go on Discovering Volcanoes and it's got 8. Now, what I would do is, I stopped doing a long time ago, is just stick with one. Whichever one you're using, just stick with that one. Because you're going to get too confused. Okay? That used to happen to me a lot, and I just gave up. I just use the geoscience one in Australia now. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but discovering volcanoes seemed pretty good to me, but it just seemed outrageous that they had so many earthquakes on there that, like yesterday, the ones that we were talking about with you guys a couple of days ago, or the ones that we were talking about yesterday off Japan, Discovery Volcano said it was 7. That might have been the case, but, that's seems extreme. Um, I think it just adds to the confusion a bit, folks. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about a subject that everybody loves to discuss and get into and talk around because, folks, it is happening right on our doorstep while we're all sitting down, eating our brekkie every morning and, taking the kids to school, rushing around like headless chooks. We're at war. We are actually at war. Where you're thinking, well, take your pick, South China Sea, uh, Middle East, Syria mainly, um, Ukraine, um, there's probably other places in the world that are kicking off and we don't even know about it. As I said to you before, the US is trying to, was desperate actually to start a war. Desperate. The only thing that's kind of saving us at the moment is the Russians haven't kicked back. Well, that's technically not true. There's an unconfirmed report, by the way, that the Russians blew up. Yeah, you gotta listen to this, please, because this is not unconfirmed, kind of confirmed, but not yet. The Russians blew up an intelligence headquarters room in Aleppo, in the terrorist-held bit of Aleppo, which had 30 Israelis, um, uh, you know, top staff, Americans, Saudi, Qatari, Bahrain. I'm not sure if there's any Aussies in there. I hope to God there wasn't. They're not supposed to be there. Um, British, can you believe it? Who were organising the ground forces for the rebels. And the Russians blew the shit out of the place and killed everyone. from a cruise missile that they shot off from the Mediterranean. Now, as I said, it has, there's only one station at the moment that's confirmed this, and that's Israeli news. Now, while I'm saying that, this is important. This is very, very important. Stephen's moon, he is the only person that, as far as I can tell, Enstrop, who is actually 100% trying to get the truth, and when he's delivering his stuff, is being very factual and very truthful. So himself and RT News. Now, so far, Stephen is the only person on Israeli News Live that's actually said that it's been confirmed by one body of people. Isn't the Russians and isn't now? Can you imagine the Americans coming out and saying, "Oh, Russia, you bombed our intelligence headquarters in Aleppo, or where was it? On the wrong side of the fence, fellas." Now, they're playing tit for tat at the moment. It looks like the convoy that got bombed was actually a phosphorus bomb, drone bomb from the Yanks. They're desperate folks to have a war. Absolutely desperate. They're going to lead us down the garden path to war and drag your kids. And now, I think in most countries, men and women can fight together, so they're going to kill all our kids. If you're in America at the moment, and America's not my political scene, but I would strongly urge you to be bringing your congressman in whatever state you're in and going ballistic at him. Absolutely ballistic. And keep calling them and get other people to call them and say, "This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is how crazy it's gotten, folks. The Russians are fighting for the elected, whether it's right or wrong, who knows, it's not our issue. For the elected, democratically elected government in Syria And at the UN, if you want to have a real ridiculous laugh, which I'm guessing why he's done it, on RT News, the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov sat there, he's sitting there and did an interview for 42 minutes discussing how they were talking with America, discussing how they were going to get the rebel-backed American troops out of some areas. Did you just understand what I just said? Oh, I'm sorry, folks. This stuff just cracks me up. And when you watch his face when he says it, he just looks stupefied. Because the Americans are in Syria telling the Russians that they don't want to know, they have to have a no-fly zone over Syria when Russians are working for the Syrian government and the Americans are working for the rebels. It's crazy. You need to ring a congressman. We need to tell our people to get the hell out of there. Look, I can't say much more on that because it is what it is. Israeli News Live, and you will see the interview with Lavrov, and you will see the latest news report from Stephen as regards to a lot of these critical things that are happening. He's the only person I can find with definite confirmed information, and I'm using him for, telling you guys. And I guess if he's found me wrong, he'll retract it, and I will inform you guys. But so far, he hasn't been wrong. Now, also on Israel News Live, you will see that he is the Russians, and this is confirmed by the way, the Russians have sent all their intercontinental ballistic missiles, a vast swag of them, to the border with Ukraine. This is going on while you and I are now sitting here. Why? Because the Americans shifted nuclear missiles to the border with Russia. It's not even their country. We're not even supposed to be there. The sticking point is at the moment that Germany and everyone else is saying, this is crazy, guys, what are you doing? This is, Russia's not even done anything to anyone. So you would hope that if you're German or European, you're watching this, do the same thing. Bring up your people, or, just start a movement or something to stop this madness, absolute madness. I can't really say much more on it because it is just madness, folks. It's madness to the extreme. These sociopaths want to take us to war and wipe out all our families. It makes me feel sick inside that these people are getting away with this crap. So, okay, let's move on. Today is the 25th of September, and I haven't got a rock around my head. And what that means is that there's no asteroid, folks. Never was an asteroid. It was a con job. It was paid this information to someone to start something up to take your attention that way or that way. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. Let's get serious. Strop and I had the biggest laugh ever the other day, right? Because apparently, as per the Armageddon movie, apparently the Americans and the, you know, and the Russians, who they're supposed to be fighting at the moment, by the way, and the Chinese, um, sent a missile, full missiles up into space to halt actually started all this crap. Now, as far as I remember though, force, meaning force, right? The force to meet the force that's coming that way at say 36,000 miles a second, whatever it is, who knows, I might be exaggerating. Do you know how much force you have to use to blow it sideways or blow it apart, or it literally just bounces off it if you haven't got the right force. So you would literally have to send up. Now they reckon some people, the things I heard was 10 miles long, wide, a mile wide, but it's irrelevant because unless you know exactly where you're going to hit it, and you've got to hit it exactly on the right spot, it's going to do nothing because it'll push the force with it going that way, back towards us, if you don't get it right. So it was just a con job, folks. The same as the riots in Charlotte. You know, I wouldn't mind betting at the moment that there is, I said this drop the other day, there's very dark people, hearted, very dark-hearted people, sitting in very big dark rooms, thinking about very big dark things to do to all of us. That worries me a lot. So Charlotte is just another disinformation thing, folks. Why? Because on Tuesday, what happens in America on Tuesday? They're going to do everything they can, folks, to stop that happening. Because I guess they're trying to sit there, figure out what number Hillary they're going to use. 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 10, or how many of the colognes they've got to put up on the stage to get annihilated by Donald Trump. If it does actually get to Tuesday, don't go anywhere, and I mean anywhere near that building that they're having it at, because I'm kind of thinking that either A, it's never going to happen, or B, it'll start happening and then they'll blow the place up or kill someone, or just stay away from to have a big event before Tuesday or on Tuesday to stop it happening. Okay? Because Hillary's gone. You got in America, you don't know this, but we call Hillary Clinton fine cotton. That's another story, but everyone else in Australia will get it. She's a fine cotton. Now, one thing we probably should be doing at the moment is trying to send messages of hope to Russia, to the Russian Prime Minister, President, because he's doing, as far as I can tell at the moment, he's doing everything in his power to stop war. You can only poke the Russian bear so long. And I'm kind of hoping that he gets out. I think what he's trying to do is actually get through to this Thursday, I think it is, or Friday, when China becomes in the SDR. Oh no, sorry, it's Tuesday, isn't it? 27th. It's on Tuesday, the 27th. Isn't that ironic? China becomes a fully fledged member of the SDR, and they have to take a percentage of the SDR. So someone's going to have to miss out, 10% or so. So the recent refugee, whatever it was, held in New York with all heads of government, that wasn't about anything about refugees, folks. They didn't give a crap about refugees. That was a big sit-down meeting where they all said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You notice that most of the people there were coalition people, that includes Australia, that have treaties with the Americans as regards to the war and everything else. Ironic, eh? Wonder why that was. Why was New Zealand there? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to pick on New Zealand. Why was New Zealand and Australia there? I'm sorry, I don't get it. What's New Zealand going to take? 1,000 extra refugees or, 100,000? Of course not. It's all a con job, folks. prepping. What I wanted to say about prepping was that it's a secondary lifestyle that you're living within your lifestyle. So, as much as you're buying food to eat at home, you're buying food to eat in a couple of weeks' time, or a couple of months' time, or a year's time, depending on how much you want to prep. But London to a brick, folks, this week looks like something SHTF is going to happen. Um, everybody's been warning everybody about it. Um, and if you go on Israeli News Live, like I said, and just he speaks very much like myself. He doesn't bullshit people. So it's bad, folks. Take your kids. I wrote down a whole list of things as regards to this, but the number one thing about prepping is to make sure that you're fit and healthy and that your family's fit and healthy. Because the last thing you want to be doing is going into this and finding out that you've got terminal cancer, or you're not going to be much use to your family then, are you? And then imagine during the thing trying to find someone to help you look after your family. Good luck with that. Like Friday, without too much detail, I went and had one of my regular colonoscopies because I'm 53 and I don't want to find out in a couple of months' time that there's something wrong with me. And if you're a man sitting there and you haven't been to the doctor for years, not only are you stupid, but you need to get down to the doctors and have a blood test and have all you. That includes kids as well. Get them all checked out. Make sure everyone's okay and there's no issues. Go to the dentist now, tomorrow, or if you can, whenever. Um, Look after your body first and foremost. And if you're getting into years like me, something very very useful because I've had problems with my illness with my hands. So I went and bought some hand grips and started using those because if you're a gentleman of our age, 40 plus, you start to lose a lot of hand grip, and you're going to need that later. So go and buy some hand grips and start strengthening your hands and your forearms up so you can actually grip things and, you're going to have to use that later on, folks. That's just a prepping tip from me. There are, by now you should have some stores of food and water. 2 gallons, 2 gallons, 2 litres of water per person per day. At a bare minimum, 1 litre. You know how much water that is, folks? I'm a family of 6. What the Titanic floating on the water and sinking. There's that much bloody water in that shed. No, I'm joking. I haven't actually. I haven't got enough. I've got to go and get some. And that's pretty poor on my part, but I think everyone understands that, the crucial thing with water can only last a couple of days without water, folks, and last couple of weeks without food. So, go and get it sorted out. And I'm not saying this to be facetious or anything, but prepping doesn't mean that you go out and buy 20 packets of condensed soup, the ones in the packets. You just pour water and pour some noodles. Think about your nutrition as well. Diet's going to be important because diet's going to play a lot of part in your stress levels. So you want to be eating right. You need to be getting off sugar now and all processed foods. You need to go down and get some veggies and start growing some vegetables. It's not that hard to do, folks. Seriously. You know, I've had a couple of years getting into it, so I'm kind of on the roll with it now where I know what I'm doing. still making mistakes, but I'm not as bad as I used to be. Okay? Right. Um, Someone wrote to me and said, why I thought you weren't religious while you say the Lord's Prayer. And I said, well, quite frankly, mate, I'm not religious, um, but as far as I can tell, the Lord's Prayer is the one prayer where you are actually praying to the Creator. I don't say it to be religious, I don't say it, but I actually think that the words resonate well with me and actually with a lot of other people. You know, every religious person can say it, whether you're Muslim, Buddhist, Taoist. Um, there's no sin in saying the Lord's Prayer. More on that. I don't believe that too much about sin anyway, folks. I'm sorry. Um, I just don't go along with this guilt trip stuff. Um, it's not my scene, and I'm just definitely not going to go down that road. Um, I have my own theories about it, but that's me. But I still respect everybody else's principles of um, what their belief system is. Okay? Um, so a lot of track there. I wanted to talk to you about one other thing, which was this is actually very important. Two things actually: community. Oh, sorry, I'll say it again. Two things very important. One, this is essentially important, folks. You can store and stock as much as you want, but how are you going to get it somewhere? And where are you going to if you have to go somewhere? If you have to go somewhere, then you're going to need to know how to store it when you get there, where are you going to? Here in Australia now, we should. I've been trying to push these community things with everybody. Um, I've kind of left it to everyone to, whether in New South Wales, Queensland, etc., to get together and meet. But I'd really appreciate it if someone would actually like to take the bull by the horns and start being a general and move the troops around in each state so that they can actually get together. You only have to tell me, um, you know, you guys get together and sort it out between yourselves. The reason I'm actually saying that is because you have to think about it, folks. 98% of the population haven't got a clue about what's going on. So that just leaves about 1% of us. So it's true, you don't have to be a bloody rocket scientist to work out there's not many of us. I can tell you that there's not a lot of us. Um, because we're not that many. We don't, there's not that many people that believe, and you know that yourself. So I actually need someone to take the bull by the horns in each state and say, right, how, you know, we're going to do this, okay? Uh, so I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Can't remember now. I think I've covered everything anyway, folks. Probably rabbited on too long, actually. If you're in America, um, I am praying every day in my mind for you guys. Because you are actually in a no-win situation. What you do from here on, moving forward, uh, will dictate a lot of what's going to happen in your life in the coming months, I would suggest. Whether that means sending them stuff about financial things for years now, and there's just no use. No one's listening to me, so I'm stuck in the same boat as everybody else. And there's nothing that I can do about it either, which is even worse. So I do feel for you guys. Right, let's say the Lord's Prayer together. And see if you can actually pray it with me, because prayer said together is a very strong bond. You know, it unites people. You know, I think that's part of what this prayer promotes, bonding, bonding with each other and bonding with God. And it sounds cliche to say it, but show each other some love, kindness, togetherness, and respect. Because these aren't good times, folks. These are bad times. And we need to lean on each other's shoulders and have a cry or have a hug at the moment. Because these people are actually complete nut jobs. And they're going to take us down the path of war, financial collapse, and everything. As, oh, that's what I was going to say. One last thing. As regards to Nibiru, thanks for all the photos that everyone's sending in. Um, I can't see anything different at the moment. I don't know if anyone else can, but I can't leave that on Nibiru at the moment. Obviously, we'll talk more about it later, but there's other things at the moment that are more important, like trying to survive complete nut jobs. They're trying to destroy us all. Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily prayer, our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us. kingdom, power, and glory forever and ever. Amen. Good on you, folks. Stay strong. Um, Common sense prevails. Um, I wanted to read you something actually. I thought this was great. One second. I'll read this to you. Make today count because someday isn't on the calendar.